Hey, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, of course, and today I'm going to let you know about something called the Sealvax. We're going to do a little review on this thing, and just like it says, Sealvax. We're going to show you what this is in just a second. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, we're going to tell you what this thing is. It's still technically not on the retail market. It's getting ready to do a Kickstarter on this thing. It's still in development, but they sent me one to try out, do a little review on it, see how I liked it. I gave them some of my initial comments on this thing, and instead of keeping you in suspense, tell you what this thing is. Simply seal it. That's their motto, I guess. But what this thing is a little tiny vacuum sealer, believe it or not, that can be run on your cell phone. There's no batteries in this. There's no big huge pump, no seal bar or anything like that. It's got a little clip that you can just clip it to your pants or your keychain and carry it around wherever you go. It's got another little part that goes with it if you're vacuum sealing liquids. That's what you use this part for. And it's really just stuff with marinades in it. So it comes with these silicone bags. These are specially made bags by this company called Sealvax. And what it is you've probably seen these type of bags before where they have this little hole here on the side that you're supposed to vacuum things out. They usually have like a little hand pump that goes with it, or even a battery powered little pump. That's what this similar is, but this is designed a little bit different than I've ever seen them before. It's got some other little gaskets and things in here that are a lot more put together better than some of the other cheaper ones I've seen. These bags are silicone, they're not plastic, so they're supposed to last you a long time. The only thing I really don't like about these type of silicone bags is, I'll show you, I've actually used this one a couple times in the sous vide bath testing it out, is if you can see this, and I'll get it up there so you can see. When you use these things in sous vide cooking, they tend to stain. And even though these bags are kind of designed to be able to be turned inside out and wash them out pretty good, I still found it really hard to get the staining out of this particular one. I used this a couple times to cook sous vide, and surprisingly it worked really well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how these things are supposed to work. Now, these have this little bar on the top, and they pull right off, and get it here to open. And that's what seals the top part. It kind of pushes these together like a Ziploc bag, but it's pulls off real quick. It's not something that's part of the bag. So supposedly that'll make this last longer. So what you do is you take that off, put your food in, and I'll go ahead and just go show you how I'm going to do it with this green pepper here. I'll do an example cook in another video to kind of show you how these work. And like I said, they do work in the sous vide, but the only thing that I had an issue with is cleaning it up after. So what you do is when you put your food in, you can get most of the air out if you want to kind of help it along, which really you should do until that seals up. Just kind of open it up, trying to squish all the air out as you can. And these just slide into the little track there. Just make sure you push it down all the way. So now your top bar has got that sealed. And believe it or not, this little thing folds out, and you got a little knob here on the end. That's where your vacuum comes through. So you just your little vacuum pump is in here. This is actually magnetized as well, so you can stick it on a cabinet or something, or somewhere to hang out when you're not using it. To vacuum seal, make sure your top bar is sealed all the way. You open your little top here on this and you put your little black knob here. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a little closer so you guys can see this close up. Alright guys, I want to make sure you guys can see this. So you just lay your bag down and you put this little black part here. It goes into that hole, and you just kind of make sure you push it down a little bit. Take your cell phone, doesn't even need to be open. You just turn your cell phone and you plug it in to the appropriate one that takes Android or Apple, and then you'll hear it start the vacuum seal and you'll see it. Now this is only set to a certain amount of time. If you're doing a bigger piece of meat or there's a lot more air in it, you might have to do this once or twice. As you can see, it's starting to vacuum seal. It's not fast by any means, but that's a tiny little vacuum sealer pump there. Alright. It's got most of the air out. Okay, when you're done, you just pop it off, put your little, cover it up with your little plastic knob again, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty much vacuum sealed. There's still probably a little bit of air in there. If I was saving this, I'd probably run that again just to get as much air out as possible. If I was just saving it, not cooking it sous vide or something like that. But, I mean, there you go, guys. It works. The only question I have is how much battery is it sucking out of your cell phone? This happens to be an older cell phone that I had, and I'm not really worried about it. So you can use it for that. If you're using with your regular cell phone that you use all the time, I wouldn't use this for big projects. This is good for traveling, you know, keeping maybe at a second home or in your car if you happen to be, you know, traveling and then you need to vacuum seal something while you're out. You know, it might be something you can carry around with you. If you only vacuum seal once every couple, you know, weeks or so for sous vide cooking, it might be good. But, you know, there you go. It works. I mean, I've tried this out for a few days and let it sit. It hasn't lost any air. The only thing that I, you know, haven't really done is long-term testing on these bags. Now, supposedly they're going to be working on different designs for these bags, maybe different material, but right now this is what they have. Now, just to show you on this smaller bag, what they have inside the bag here is a little, if you can see through the bottom, it's a little, just like a little flap that you're supposed to be able to pull on and pretty much turn this thing inside out to be able to clean it better. And if you're using this just to store something, you know, for a short time, it's probably works really well. But see, it's even really hard to get this to open up to get into some of these nooks and crannies. It's a little bit better, you know, being able to pull it out, but you still got some little nooks and crannies here where it's kind of really hard to clean. And like I said, some of that myoglobin and stuff and seasonings that is stuck on that bigger bag from doing that longer sous vide cook, it's not going to come off at all the way you have to clean these things. So, but like I said, it's something to where if this is something you need to use something like this for travel, you need something really compact because you're in a, you know, smaller apartment. Works good. And these are, you know, reusable bags. You just got to take the good with the bad with stuff like this. So I've had no issues with it functioning whatsoever. The only thing I could tell you is I don't know how much, I didn't really measure how much it does use the battery in your cell phone. It all depends on how often you use it, I'm sure. So, alright guys, I'll be back with a little bit more of a rundown. Alright guys, I'm going to show you one more thing with this. Like I said, it's got this little thing that comes with it. That's if you're going to do liquids, it kind of catches the liquid, so the vacuum doesn't go into the vacuum pump here. And I've got a little bit of marinade in this piece of top round, and I'm going to show you. One of the things too with this cool is these bags open up, they kind of widen a little bit, so you can set it down like this and it won't fall over, which is good when you're trying to put this seal bar thing right back on. I said it's pretty easy. You just literally push it in to the bar, just make sure it's in there all the way, and it's sealed up. I don't know how long these will last like this. Just like with anything that's plastic or silicone, it could wear out fairly quickly. I just don't know. I'm not going to say it will. I'm not going to say it won't. It might last forever. Alright, so I do have some marinade in there, and I do have a little vacuum pump. And what you do with it, if you got a little bit of marinade or moisture in the bag, you put this here, and there's a little hole on the bottom that looks just like the one on the vacuum sealer, and that goes right over the hole here, and then you take your vacuum hole here and put it on the hole in the top. Take your phone, and you'll hear the vacuum sealer going again. Alright, it's done. Pull that back out, lock that back up, and there you go. There's still a little bit of air in there. Like I said, it's not something that's perfect. You're not going to get 100% air out like you would with like a commercial type sealer or even a regular food saver, but it's got plenty of the air out for sous vide cooking for sure. So you see that did have some liquid pooled up here. Didn't really get any into this, but that's what this is for. This will, if any liquid gets sucked up into the vac, it'll get caught into this and won't go into the pump at all. So there you go, guys. There is the SealVacs. Look for it in the link below. There's a description. It's going to be a Kickstarter coming out, but check it out. SealVacs. Check it out in the link below. Alright guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on YouTube, Facebook page, and my Facebook group as well. Check out the Fire and Water Cooking podcast, and maybe someday I'll have somebody from SealVacs on here to kind of explain where they got the idea from, where they think it's going, and I'll see you on the next Fire and Water Cooking video. Thanks guys.